Can you talk about when you were department chair in curriculum instruction, what kind of dynamic did you try and build among your faculty when it comes to the relationships, right? You started talking about relationships right away with the school. Sometimes the real deep relationships can be very transactional. We see each other at work, but it's a relationship at work. So how did you try and build your faculty into a group of people? Because you mentioned you brought them on board purposefully.
Right.
Talk about that.
How you build that community.
Sure.
I think that was probably if you ask someone, that's probably my strength. One of my strengths was building those relationships. We'd have a Christmas potluck, and everybody bring a potluck, and Dr. Newby and I would provide the meat. I'd do briskets, and he would do ham, or we'd switch off there. So that was just a part of what we did. It was every Christmas we usually had a Christmas open house where we invited faculty from both departments to our house during Christmas before the break really started. When we had department meetings, I always had food out of my pocket,
right?
Not out of the department's pocket. It was just important to me. I'm not a sitter. I don't stay in my office. I made sure that I get up and walk the halls and check in with people and see what's going on. How are you doing? Faculty members tell me what's going on with your family. If somebody tried to remember birthdays, we tried to celebrate birthdays. Just any way that you could build that rapport and that relationship with your faculty.
And what about faculty to student? Right. So among faculty, you're talking about building the relationships. What was the faculty to student relationship like back then? I say back then, not that. Because you had students that were assigned to you as advisors, so you built that relationship with the student that you saw semester after semester, not just one semester, or one semester for class, or if you're lucky, you might have them twice, and that was very important. I think that's one. And there's also a side of me that knows that's just one more thing that faculty was asked to do. But I really think that's what built those relationships as much as anything else. And I think that was one of my strengths. Advising students is a puzzle, helping them figure out their classes and how they're going to graduate when they want to graduate, and what fits best with their time frame and their family. And I think that was a really strong way that we built relationships with our students. And faculty was here. We weren't, we didn't do that much online. It was face to face, and that's how you build relationships.